lust. They drop chili. Where's the love in the streets? Pour my heart on the beat. See that blood on my sheets. Yeah, when me ready, me hit it heavy. I zoom out the pride of my people already. Them I see Ellie. Me, I'm just sharing my journey. I'm thankful that people they hear me. Tribe of Joseph, I'm ahead of the bunch. PFL, I was having for months. A running cutscene, but on my pockets, me in my DNA. Baby for lunch, but we call me a star before BBC. Don't take a lot to get rid of me. Me and them don't get the same. Me and them don't get the same. Oh, I died, they gonna know who the name is. They say I move like I'm nameless. Cause I only come for the money bags. And I don't really wanna be famous, man.
Southern California has a new modern home for NFL football, and it is this place, wondrous SoFi Stadium here in Inglewood. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Minnesota Vikings and the Los Angeles Chargers. Get strapped in. It's just about time to get the party started. And we are underway in Southern California. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. Herbert on the first play wants to pass it. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Xavier Howard. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
On 2nd and 11 now. Where? He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. This complete to Jones. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got a turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. To throw is Ware. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end Hawkinson. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
Hey, let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him, because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right.
Yeah, they're into the end zone, but it's not verified yet. Hold on, there is a flag down. Ezra Cleveland, the guard, called for the penalty there. And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Now Ware. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And the Chargers are going to get the football here at their own 23. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
Here's Eckler to begin the drive. Oh, good move. And he'll get this just across the 25-yard line. This defense for the Vikings, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
On 2nd and 7, Herbert. And he whips that one incomplete there.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Out of the gun, Herbert. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Danielle Hunter coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away.
I feel like you and I could be in our backyard with our dads right now. What did they always say when they were throwing us the ball? Look it all the way in. Make sure you secure it. That had the feeling of not happening there on that play, that he didn't have full control of the ball.
When that punt's coming in, I've never returned punts, but I would imagine it's tough to monitor those guys coming full steam ahead of it.
It really is. You try and get that peek to know where they are, about whether you should fair catch it or not, but sometimes you just have to have a sense, a feeling, and just have to make sure, number one, though, you catch the ball and put it away.
On 2nd and 9, Herbert finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
The Chargers at 11-5 on the year. They've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row. And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. It's Eckler again. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well. You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut. So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On is the Chargers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off, and he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. So well done there, and these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do, and now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. So on fourth down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. Waiting on it will be Richie James. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return, and it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. Even though they might not find the number 1 seed next to their name come playoff time, there's not going to be very many teams, if any, entering the playoffs on the kind of run they're on. They're hot.
And I love that word, hot, because every team in the league wants to go into the playoffs on that uptick. Because a lot of the time you serve notice to the rest of the league that, hey, we're the team you need to deal with. We're the team that's going to be a real problem for you. And if they can continue this streak, they could very well be that team and gain that confidence that they're seeking as they head to the playoffs. And
confidence, that's the word I would use from our meetings with them. They said we're playing our best football right now. It is showing. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Herbert setting up to throw on first down. And now the ball's out, fumble near midfield. And this belongs to the Vikings.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes if they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback. They've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Big Sebastian Joseph Day there on the stop. Here's Ware looking to throw. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. A big play there for Minnesota. And even 40 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
They'll run with Cook. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Dalvin Cook with career touchdown number 75. And the Vikings post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this second quarter. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead.
Makes the score Vikings 7, Chargers 0.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Charger drive about to get going. Right now they're on the wrong end of the scoreboard, and that won't change if this drive ends like the last one when they had that lost fumble. So you have a feeling taking care of the football is certainly paramount right now.
Yeah, and it's not just the guy who dropped it on the last drive, is it? That means everyone who might touch the ball is getting the same message. Guys, ball security, paramount. Let's take care of it, and if we do, we've got a chance to put points on the board.
Running on first down, Eckler. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Back to throw here, Herbert. Into the hands of Williams across the formation. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 39. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. In motion left goes a tight end. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
On 2nd and 7, Herbert. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 26. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first.
1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
They go back to the ground now with Eckler. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up 1st downs.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Once more, here's Eckler. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Herbert. That is caught at the 7-yard line. So the completion gets him just a yard, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
From the gun, Herbert on 3rd down. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. He's at the 50, the 30, 10, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick 6, and I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick 6.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, This too shall pass. This too shall pass. And finally, we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Now a dump off here complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Usually see those guys out wide get called for holding on running plays. Here a passing play.
Yeah, sometimes when you get this quick screen, bubble screen, anything where they're having to block for their fellow receiver, usually at the point of attack, and this time he got caught.
From the shotgun, here's Herbert. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Now it's Herbert. James has got it, complete. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On is the Chargers punter now, as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
65.
They start the drive with Cook, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. And here's Ryan Wright now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And, Charles, they got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. So good coverage there defensively as it looks like they'll force a punt on this opening drive of the 3rd.
Well, let's coach them up a little bit from right here in the booth. That's exactly what they needed to do. They need to start stringing together some stops, turning the ball over back to their offense, and trying to get back into this game.
Yeah, a couple scores down, but they can eat into that quickly with a nice drive here on the other side. It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return, and they will take over 1st and 10. The Charger drive about to get going. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points. As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On 2nd down, here's Herbert. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
Justin Herbert looking to pass. He'll drop this one off to Eckler. No gain on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself. There's the arm strength that we saw in college and during the scouting process. And really, it's not just the arm strength there, but the placement as well. To me, that was an excellent combination of arm talent and accuracy.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
He's brought down at the 30. Here we go. 2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
Back to throw. Where? Looking end zone for Jones. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point right down the middle, and it's now 21-0.
Score, Vikings 21, Chargers nothing.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. Well, here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Eckler now between the tackles. He'll take this to the 46.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
On 2nd and 7, Herbert. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Herbert now. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're just looking for more of the same. Great first half so far, good second half, and well, sometimes I guess maybe, Charles, these coaches, they don't have to tell these guys much when they're rolling like they're rolling right now.
You're exactly right. I've heard stories of some of the best coaches in our time or any time having grabbed their staffs at halftime and said, guys, they're playing really well. Don't go in there and give them a whole lot of stuff. Just pat them on the back, and essentially the speech at halftime is, let's go, guys, and that's it.
Yeah, no one's upset the apple cart so far. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. That'll go as a pickup of 8.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. And the Chargers are going to take over at their own 41. Chargers in good field position to start out. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They started on the ground with Eckler, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
On 2nd and 12, Herbert. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Danielle Hunter able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
That is caught. It's Williams. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. 4th down. On is the Chargers punter now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. Now, if you're a fan of punting, this game's for you. He's been out there quite a bit. That one maybe his best yet.
They certainly got his leg loose by now. It kind of reminds me of my college football coach, John Majors. He loved the punting game because he liked the positioning, the field position, and he loved to play defense.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 5-yard line.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Ready?
2nd and 10.
Bronco switch. Bronco switch.
Now a give running left is Nwangu. And space opened up a bit. He's able to take this up past the 10. That second down run a big help. The 7 yards leaves him with just a 3rd and 3 now.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. And here's Ryan Wright now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And he will go out of bounds down at the 15-yard line. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And this offense now with a short field ahead. 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the 4th quarter. Just rely more on the passing attack.
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
Herbert. Touchdown, Chargers. Gerald Everett, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Chargers are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Hopkins with the extra point, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
At their own 24-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keeper line?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. He'll keep it himself. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. 1st down. They'll try the middle with Cook. Down to about the 37. I'm sure that that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Ware setting up the screen for Cook. And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield. Is this a hold, or did they rough the quarterback? So, roughing the passer penalty, never one that you like to see. Not at all, and especially when you're in that final push of the season. You can't afford to get your quarterback hurt before the playoffs roll around, and we know they'll be here before you know it. Cook following the penalty, and he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling, and this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly. Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're... And he will score! Touchdown, Vikings! Justin Jefferson, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this 4th quarter advantage. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. And their 4-game win streak very much in jeopardy as they go to work here late with a 1st and 10. On the screen, this is Eckler. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down. Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th. They snap it to Herbert. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The 4th down play doesn't work for the Chargers. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Throwing to start the drive. Ware. And the pressure gets there. He'll go down. It's a sack. And it is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Operating from the gun. Ware. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. And the Chargers will take over here just shy of the 30. Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do. After the turnover, here's Herbert. He dumps it to Eckler underneath. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Meanwhile, Herbert's throw going into the hands of Williams. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. A shotgun snap for Herbert. Got an open man. It's Josh Palmer. He will go out right near the 35-yard line. And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. So the officials and the folks in New York got a second look at this one, and the call is going to be overturned. Herbert wants to throw it on 3rd and 1. He's got a man. That's Keenan Allen. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Again, Herbert. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Fourth down for Herbert. Desperation time. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Vikings are going to win this football game. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. Well, Charles, when you look at the stat sheet, ultimately one thing sticks out like a sore thumb. One side lost this game because they turned